request Pujita of 6th class to give a small bouquet to our chief guest. Thank you. Now I request Ravani of 6th class to give a bouquet to our chairman, sir. Thank you. Now I request Pooja of 8th class to present a small bouquet to our vice principal, ma'am. Thank you. Now I request our chief guest and our honorable principal, Mr. Sambasivarao sir, to give us valuable message. Now I request our chairman sir, Mr. Konali Ramu sir, to give his valuable message.
నిన్ను మొత్తం రికార్డ్ చేయమన్నారే లేపక్క నుంచి వచ్చి టెన్షన్
My dear students, staff and parents, wish you a very, very happy Independence Day. I feel it great privilege our national flag was hoisted by the legendary in the teaching community and the most experienced man, Mr. N. Sambasivarao. I feel it very great privilege. As you know, all of us have gathered here to celebrate 66th Independence Day of our nation. This day, after hoisting the national flag, we people usually make a mistake. We make a mistake. You have to. I'm pointing out. We make a mistake by remembering the heroic deeds of only few freedom fighters. We usually make mistake. I repeat again. We usually make mistake. But freedom fighting was a collective effort. Without the cooperation, sacrifice, and involvement of all Indians, it was impossible to get the freedom. So people of India were the real national heroes behind the success. We should express our sincere gratitude to all those who participated in the freedom struggle. This can only be done by defending our freedom like our ancestral properties which cannot be valued. Do you know how to defend our freedom? Single person cannot defend it. Again, group effort is essential to defend our freedom. That is nothing but unity. How to form the unity? We should always remember that only patriotism can form the unity. Not the religion, not the language, not the caste, not the customs and traditions. So having patriotism only can save the freedom of our nation. And we have to keep fight on secularism. No compromise must be with the patriotism. Punish the forces that support the terrorism. And else one bad day we lose our freedom. First, I would like to express my views about the dark side of the present India. In this republic, from schools to parliament, elections are held at every moment. Children are taught fighting for the seat. How should I say my India is great? Even after the golden jubilee of constraint, many citizens are unable to feed their gut. Rich become richer and rich are indigent. How can I say my India is great? People are emotionally divided by communalists. Border in the north and south has water dispute. Leaders are selfish and no solving interest. How should I say my India is great? Capable civilians are facing unemployment. Social unfits highlight the political movements. Voters are under the tense of serious threat. How can I say my India is great? But apart from all this, our India is great country because Indians are generous, broad-minded, kind-hearted, and united. No doubt, we quarrel among ourselves for various reasons, but we stay united in front of our enemies and in times of danger. To tell this, I have got few facts. During the Kargil war, our government could not spend even a single pice from the budget, but people gave every kind support for it. During tsunami in Chennai, flood in Bihar and Orissa, drought in the country, earthquake in Gujarat and Maharashtra, and similar other natural disasters, people stood united and helped each other, extended all kind cooperation to start a new life. I say my India is great and the Indians are the greatest, and I am proud to be an Indian. India is a great country with many religions. It has rich natural resources and lengthy frontier and vast regions. North has the Himalayas and south with the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal in the east, and west has the Sea Arabian. India is administered with language-wise partition. All are leading peaceful life with national integration. Enemy's conspiracy is impossible with the unity of the nation. Festivals are celebrated here with memorable function. People, the most important thing, people help each other in time of affliction. So, I say my India is great. And once again I repeat, I am proud to be an Indian. Boys, my dear students, boys and girls, here I quote the words of Mahatma Gandhi because I started this with the dark side of India. I expressed my views about the dark side of India. You are the future citizens. You are the sincere nationalists. So, I quote here the Mahatma Gandhi's words about the character. Your character must be above suspicion and you must be truthful and self-controlled. The truest test of civilization, culture, dignity is character, not that clothing. A language is an exact reflection of the character and growth. Men of stainless character will easily inspire confidence and automatically purify the atmosphere around them. And all your scholarship, what you are learning, would be in vain. They become waste if at the same time you do not build up your character and attain mastery over your thoughts and actions. Generally, I usually quote Rabindranath Tagore when I speak. Boys, listen. Let me quote Rabindranath Tagore from Geetanjali. Where the mind is without fear and the head is all high, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert stand of dead habit, where the mind led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into the heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. Boys, to achieve anything, be persistent. Do not give up your duty. Here is the lesson. Once again I want to repeat, who has served almost all his life. Actually, people will get inspiration from Jawaharlal Nehru, who worked till his last breath. But the man who is sitting in front of you has been working from the past 50 years, 50 to 60 years. He is working still. We have to learn many more things. To achieve anything, do not leave your duty. Do work hard. And if you stop learning, you stop growing and start decaying. Let me say the quotings of Vishweshwaraya. Success in life depends on action. That is, on what you do and what you feel, and not what you feel and not what you think. The price of success is hard work. Here I read in one comprehension, I want to quote it again. nothing comes out of nothing. ఏమీ చేయకుండా ఏది రాదు. You have to work hard, then alone you can gain something. And the results of hard work are sweet if they come out of only the challenging struggle. We have challenge which you are going to face it in coming January. The basic aim to become good citizens, to become sincere nationalists. First aim is to join in Sainik School. Then you can serve your motherland. Finally, I request all of you to stand up. All my students, please stand up. I want to take oath on this auspicious day. The oath, 10 points which are given by our ex-president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Please put your hands straight. On his birthday, 10-point oath for the youth of our nation, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam gave it. I say point wise, take oath and repeat it all of you. The first point, I will pursue my education or the work with dedication and I will excel in it. Second one, from now onwards, I will teach at least 10 persons to read and write. Those who cannot read and write. Third point, I will plant at least 10 saplings and shall ensure their growth through constant care. I will visit rural and urban areas and permanently wean away at least 5 persons from addiction and gambling. I will constantly endeavor to remove the pain of my suffering brethren. I will not support any religious, caste or language differentiation. I will be honest and endeavor to make a corruption-free society. I will work for becoming an enlightened citizen. I will always be a friend of the mentally and physically challenged. The last one, I will proudly celebrate the success of my country and my people. Thank you, boys. Thank you. My dear parents, staff, students, I take this opportunity to wish you all peace, progress, and achievement. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Your message really inspired us. Hi, Tilak.
Hi Bhavita, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Now I request our chief guest, Mr. Samashwar Rao, sir, to come on to the dais and give his valuable speech.
Mr. Chairman, sir, Kodal Ramu, my dear children, parents, and teachers of this August Institute. I am very thankful to our chairman, sir, to speak a few words about me, and really he gave an inspiring message to all the students, the budding citizens of India. They are our future hopes. So we are the people who were born before the independence. We know, please keep quiet, behind. We know slightly, not very much, we know slightly what was slavery. And almost all of you are born are fortunate to born in a free society.
Thank you, sir.
But we were born in a society, in a country which was enslaved by the Britishers. And we had to fight for 200 years. Why I am telling for 200 years? As Mr. Chairman sir said, there are thousands and thousands who fought for the independence of India, starting right from the Buxar, the Plassey War that were fought in 1776. So that was the beginning. They tried to resist the Britishers from overtaking India, Tipu Sultan, so many people. But at the same time, they were traitors who helped the Britishers to occupy the country. So starting from there, we have the great fighters in 1857. Hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands of soldiers have sacrificed. The Indian Sipahis then were called. They have laid their lives, and among them we have both Muslims and Hindus, both men and women. The great last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah, he led the revolution and he was incarcerated to Andaman, not Andaman, to Mandalay in Burma. And after 7 years he died at the age of 99. He was taken prisoner at the age of 91. And there he writes, he was a great poet, he writes, बहादुर तुम इतना बदनसीब है, तुम्हारे लिए एक 6 गज जमीन तुम्हारा वतन में नहीं है. It's not the actual words of the poetry, but I am giving the essence of the society. So he cried that he did not have 6 yachts to bury him in his own country. So Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, Tantia Tope, Mangal Pandey, and so forth and so on. And then came the great Indian struggle, 1985, the Indian National Congress was started. They wanted to pay the Britishers in their own coin. So they started in a very small way, and in between came Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lal Bal Pal, the trio. Then they were followed by Mahatma Gandhi, who is called not the father of the Indian nation. So he belongs to 2 countries, not 1 country. The leader who belongs to 2 countries, that is South Africa and India. Gandhi was shaped in South Africa, and his experiences have been put into practice in India. So in this process, several people differed with Mahatma Gandhi. Bhagat Singh, Prithvi Singh, and many others, they sacrificed, they died. Bhagat Singh was hanged at the age of 23, very young age, and many others at 18 years, 17 years, they lost their lives, their valuable lives. And ultimately, the Subhash Chandra Bose, who was the president of the Indian National Congress, who differed with Mahatma Gandhi, and he went out of the country and started the Indian National Army. And he was the first to hoist the national flag outside India as the Indian Republic. So, as our chairman sir said, there are thousands and thousands and thousands, right from the smallest village to the big cities, right from the smallest village. Most people are unsung. We do not know what sacrifices they have done for this great country. So I start with Ms. Nehru, when on the 14th of midnight, when he started his speech, The tryst with destiny. The tryst with destiny, a famous quotation from Jawaharlal Nehru. And very emotional and very inspiring. And at that time, Gandhiji was not there. Gandhiji was in Calcutta, controlling the situation there. One man saw me. Mountbatten said about Gandhiji, my one man saw me. So, at one side, there was jubilation that we got independence after a protracted struggle, after a long struggle. The army revolted, the navy revolted in Bombay. The Guinea Kamgar Union, 10 lakhs of Guinea Kamgar Union marched on the streets of Bombay. And one side there was jubilation, and on another side the future was dark. There was no light. India was in great trouble. The danger of disintegration, the danger of being flooded with refugees, so many problems, almost unsurmountable problems. And those problems are not surmounted even now by our neighbor countries who got independence along with us. They are still struggling with those problems. Today, it is a part of history for us. Today we cannot distinguish who came from outside and who is actually our Prime Minister, our opposition leader. Both came from Pakistan. So we do not know, we cannot identify, we cannot distinguish who came from outside and who is the native of the former, the Indian Union. So this is we had the opportunity of having great leaders, great presidents like Babu Rajendra Prasad, the second president, Dr. Radhakrishnan, the philosopher king. Long back, 2,500 years ago, Plato has envisaged that a day must come when a philosopher should rule the country, should rule the government, should rule the state. And that dream of Plato has been realized by bringing Radhakrishnan as our second president of India. Exactly 50 years back, he said these words, cohesive, purposeful pattern of society. I repeat, cohesive, purposeful pattern of society, devoid of discrimination of gender, devoid of discrimination of religion, caste, subcaste, and race, and any other disability, any other discrimination. I add one word for that great leader, the great philosopher, cohesive, purposeful, progressive pattern of society. We require the progressive pattern of society. Says India has progressed. It has almost is becoming the fourth or fifth developed country in the world, overtaking the other G7. And they are afraid us actually that India and China would overtake us in one day or other, and the day is not far away. So this is the history, and this how we started and how we are now, and I do not dwell more than what Ramu sir has said about the dark side of our country, and also he has told the bright side of the country also. So I do not want to go into that things. But one thing I want to tell, this school is quite different from all the thousands and thousands of schools of Andhra Pradesh, because this school has sent hundreds and hundreds of officers into the three wings of the army. There are my students, there are my Ramu sir students in the highest echelons of the Indian Army, the Air Force, and the Navy. So, the second Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, the great Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. India is built in the villages. and India is protected on the borders. India is built in the villages and it's protected on the borders. Without protection from the borders, we cannot imagine the progress in the villages. Both should go hand in hand. That's why the great man said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. And those Jawans we are sending from here. And we are giving such a discipline for our children. And now this school has embarked not only the children sending to the Sainik schools, but also to serve with equal zeal and with equal purpose to give the same discipline and give the same education, the same values. I think very few schools can boast that our children are provided with 1.5 hours play, games, whatever game they wish to play. They are free, indoor games and outdoor games. I want to know how many schools are providing such a opportunity for their children, always right from 7 o'clock in the morning till 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. I know my own grandson, he goes to school at 7 o'clock and comes back at 9 o'clock. And what he is doing, I do not know. And even then he gets 300, 350, 360. He is not getting 550 or so. Why? His parents are hammering his head, I do not know. I am helpless. I cannot advise my own children. That is a pitiable thing. So, we are aiming in both the ways. The building of the body, the building of the mind, both are important. The building of the body is more important because a sound mind is in a sound body. A sound mind is in a sound body. Without a sound body, you do not have a sound mind. So, these are the two aspects that we are striving, and we are serving the nation. And our Ramu sir, at the age of 23, he started this great mission. Not for the sake of money, but with a mission. I know him when he started the institute with just 7 students. Right from that time I know him. Even though I was not active participant in the activities of the school, I know him. I was helping the children with English and English grammar. So, our country, we have seen in Olympics the dark side, half dark side. I don't say full dark side, half dark side. In the Olympics, we are on the 55th position. We are on the 55th position. If India had won one gold medal, India's place would have been 31. See how much difference is there. 24. In one medal, there are 24 gradings. Children mind it, know it. Even half mark, even 1 mark may decide your fate, either this way or that way. So, with 120 crores of people, with 35 crores of middle class, we are not able to get at least the 5th place or 6th place or 7th place, which Korea got, South Korea got. Smaller countries than India. So, in this aspect, we have our country, because we cannot do regimentation. That is either that is our strength or our weakness. Our strength is democracy. We are wedded to democracy. We cannot regiment as people are being done in China. We have to take the positive measures. And I hope that this Olympics will boost the energies of the Indians, and next time they will not lag behind. And hockey, we know what is the position. So, I urge once more that all the students should participate in the games, should participate in the disciplinary exercises, and in that we have got a PET, well disciplined, well trained PET we have, and also we must study and we must concentrate. That is the most important thing. Concentration. Without concentration, we could not achieve anything. Concentration is the most important. I have got the story of Ekalavya. So, with concentration, dedication, we can achieve great things. After all, Abdul Kalam was an ordinary student who was selling newspapers at the railway stations, rose to the position of the president, rose to the position of one of the greatest scientists that India can boast of. So, it is the dedication, concentration, that is what we require, and I hope that our children will concentrate on their studies and also they will grow from strength to strength, and I also hope that this institute will grow from strength to strength. And I thank our chairman sir for the few complimentary words about me. Whether I deserve it or not, I do not know. And also, I want to tell that I have opted in the twilight years of my career. I have been teaching for the last 60 years. In the twilight years of even now, I can take 6 periods a day, even 9 periods a day, continuously. People know that, my teachers know that. I can take more periods than my teachers. I can work more hours than my teachers. So, I have decided to devote the twilight years for the development of this institute, and I thank our Ramu sir, my old young friend. He is my old young friend. And so together, we hope that this institute, till the last breath, I would strive for the development of this institute and see that this institute grows from strength to strength, a very good atmosphere, free from dust, free from pollution, free from, I do not know, it may not be same after 2 or 3 years. At least now we are free from several things. And I hope that we will all progress with the cooperation of the parents. And I thank all the parents who have come to witness this function. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Jai Hind.